Govindam Hare Purusham. Good morning, everybody.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna. Good morning.
Hare Krishna.
So thank you,
Haribol.
Haribol. Thank you all for taking the time to attend this very special gathering today. This is really an opportunity to celebrate you, the stage group leaders, and to just, affirm here how essential, what an essential part of the message of wisdom of the sages you all represent, and that is the importance of Sangha and sharing spiritual knowledge. And especially where you can exchange back and forth, and it's an extension of the Wisdom of the Sages podcast. So we really are appreciative. And also, just a very special thanks to Raghu and Kaustubha for taking time from their very busy schedules to personally be here today to express their gratitude. So I will turn it over to Raghunath.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for coming. I have nothing but deep appreciation. I think in Hare Krishna 1.0, there was a way to sort of spread Krishna consciousness, and it did what it needed to do. And then there was sort of like almost like a dissolving, and people, leaders of Bhakti movement were just like, how do we spread this movement now? And Krishna, I feel like, is really using all of us to do it. And the podcast has some decent effect. And then when Kaustubha came up with this idea of the sage groups, I just feel like this is sort of the next level. Because there's one thing to hear transcendental message, but there's another thing to ruminate on questions and answers and have community and friendship. And that's what all you guys are doing. And I really need you to know what you're doing is not one, it's not undervalued. It's the most valuable thing right now, that these people have somebody in a position that's very serious about it, that's holding space for all of them to come. Some people, and maybe you can have experienced this yourself, they come into all this stuff super confused, a lot of questions, want to take a step further, and you're there just holding their hands. And this is the most powerful thing that we can do. Krishna gives special blessings to those devotees who are taking care of other devotees. And we see it in the Bhakti recovery group too, or in recovery as well. The really way that we recover is when we get out of our own head, start to reach out and expand our arms and our heart to other people. And I feel like you guys are really representing that right now. And we're doing this sort of in pods now. It's sort of like taking, like it's like spiritual warfare, going out throughout the world and creating like these small communities of people who can really come together. And it's so organic and it's so unique. And I've never seen anything like this happen. And sometimes you can have these things where you can have this massive temple, get caught up in, a bureaucratic structure, or you can get caught up in dogma of a community. But you guys are keeping this so organic and so natural and so real. And it's having, even though it seems sort of micro, it's having a macro effect. And people are really being touched by it. And I only know this because people are telling me about it. People are telling me, people that I didn't at least expect it. They're like, oh, yeah, I'm actually in a sage group. I was like, how do you know anything about anything? And they hear it from one moment on a podcast. Next thing you know, they have a community. And some people are really ripe for bhakti. Either they're on a spiritual quest, or the material world has broken them in such a way that they're like, their heart is wide open. And to have a place for them to go, or to direct them to a place, is such like an opulence in this world. It's like the highest opulence you could give to someone. And what's the best present you can give someone for Christmas? The highest thing, give them community, give people that care about them, that have no material agendas. Every time we have some type of community, oftentimes there's some type of material agenda in there. You guys are giving this community that has no material agenda. You just want the best for them, and you're willing to go out of your way to give them that. And I can just see by the effect that you're having on them, they feel loved and nurtured and cared for. And just really, but from the bottom of my heart, want to thank you. And I feel like the next thing is we all come together and we can put our heads together. How can we do this in a way that's affordable? You know, me and Kaustubha, with all our retreats we do, we really just love people to come together. We definitely do not lead with money. We lead with community and bhakti. It's nice if we get some money, that helps things as well. But if people don't have money, I'm open to a whole new paradigm of having any retreat we do to make it affordable, to make it welcoming, and to making it available to anyone that's very, very interested in bhakti. Money shouldn't be a thing that gets in the way of people getting bhakti. So I'm open to any ideas. We want to keep these communities in person, in Sage groups, and the podcast. And I just feel like we are part of the almost like a bhakti renaissance that was happening in the time of Lord Chaitanya. And you guys are all in on it. And I just thank you. I'm honored to be with you. And I'm going to pass the baton, the conch shell, to Kaustubha to share something. And thanks very, very much from the bottom of my heart. By the way, sweet baby Krishna tonight at 7:30.
Wow. That was really great, Raghunath. I feel like I should start a Sage group now too. What you said, I don't have anything planned to say for today, and it's getting late over here and I'm really tired, but I just feel really inspired. And Raghunath expressed so much of what I want to express. But where I'll really start is what you said was, everywhere I go, every time I turn around, every day I'm meeting someone that's in a Sage group that I had no idea about. And they're telling me, and I can tell from them what an extremely important, profound effect it's having in their life. That they actually, it's so important that people, it's one thing to hear a podcast, but that's two guys, recording something, that you listen to, and it's wonderful. But it's a whole nother thing when you can actually meet a devotee, meet someone that's got Krishna in their heart, meet someone that's got years of devotional service, experience. And as Raghunath also said, meet someone that has no agenda, but is really doing this for no other reason, but just to try to reach out and help someone and help them be connected and stay connected. All of you are doing that voluntarily, and there's a purity in it that is definitely changing lives. It's not an exaggeration to say this is changing hundreds of lives. So as Raghunath said, there's really no words that I can really say that really will fully capture our gratitude, or that can fully express what you're sharing with people. Linda mentioned that, that maybe I could share a little bit about what may come up in 2025, and the reason being is that you are all part of the team, and we do have big plans. Of course, everything's always in Krishna's hands, and we have our dreams of what we'd like to offer him, and ultimately it's all in his hands, and ultimately he shapes it. We're just trying to become the worthy instruments. We can put forward our ideas, and we can try to serve him, and then sometimes he decides to use us in ways that we didn't even imagine. And I believe that's happening with this community. And it's not just Raghunath and I anymore. It's a team that's building. It's a team that, especially Braj Bihari Prabhu, and then Ishwar Sundari and Sri Rupa Devi's jumped in and helped and brought a lot of stability and organization and know-how, and just got, rolled up their sleeves and got involved in stuff that Raghunath and I would be hopeless at doing. And then when we got Linda on board, that really has taken us, this past year, we got a lot done in terms of getting ourselves organized and getting a lot of stuff in place. And 2025 could really be a year where we really expand. We've never thought about doing things like fundraising, which is really what any organization does that really wants to expand. And Linda's, and Raghunath and I barely have the bandwidth to think about it, but Linda's getting into it. And, she's been handling all kind of things. And we want to move to where she's kind of freed up to think big, to take on big ideas. And where we could really provide more of what people need. Something's become crystal clear in our minds over the past year. It kind of began at the beginning of the year, something that we spoke to Radhanath Swami about. It's something that I've spoke to some of you about. It's just that we see that we have people, they're coming with faith, and then they're getting sadhu sangha, and then they're reaching this level of bhajan and kriya where they really need some good instruction. They need learning, they need training, they need personal instruction. And this is, I think, our bottleneck or our weak point, where we really need to reach out and make sure we meet people right there. And we want to try to do that online, and we want to try to do that in person. And one way is, we're getting closer all the time to launching the Sage Academy and the Sage Care. We've got good people that are heading these up. Some of them are here. Carly's here, I see. We have Sue Devi, we have Chapu, who aren't here right now. And of course, Sri Rupa and Ishwar Sundari with the Sage groups. But when we get those going, that'll provide a lot of support. But I think it's also going to involve all of you. I mean, to whatever extent that you voluntarily want to still serve more, but it can involve all of you. Everybody here can play a role in becoming more involved in helping instruct these people in how to practice. I have one student who I didn't even know it, right? He's been in many of you know Rick. What's Rick's last name again? Rick Lesher. Thank you, Rick Lesher. He asked me if I could help, instruct him a bit, and I started asking about his life. I knew him. He had come to one of our retreats at the Eco Village. I said, what a nice man, He's kind of like just a successful man that runs heads up these kind of like, I don't know, construction projects or something like that. Looks like an all-American guy, He has a very nice wife. She's not a devotee, but she's supportive of what he does. He has a teenage son. And I just started asking questions about his practice. And he says, I've been in every sage group, I've been in 8 different sage groups or something like that. And I'm also studying with this group online. I have a reading group. I got this, I got that, I got that. He's got things going on practically every day. He chants 16 rounds. And he's worshiping Radha Krishna deities in his home. And as I began to speak to him, I realized that it's actually this puja, this deity seva, that he has there's something in it that's triggering his internal development. There's something in me saying, slow down, worshiping Radha and Krishna. I don't know if he's ready, he's got no training. But I began to realize it was a real connection for him. And I was able to reach out to Vasudeva at the Bhakti Center and say, Vasudeva Prabhu, you train him up. And Vasudeva's like, I'm ready to train him up. And I'm saying, and you can train him in this, and you can just become a figure in his life that he can really, find inspiration in, find instruction from, and so on. I'm really looking forward to all of you playing that role in people's lives more and more, that we all can definitely in the sage groups and beyond the sage groups. Or it's natural that if someone is in your sage group, maybe they begin to feel a sense of shelter from you, and then that relationship can go deeper. We encourage that. Our people need that. So we want to develop these things. We've recently surveyed all of you, as well as now we've surveyed all of the Sage Group members to find out where their challenges lie. We want to develop teams to really respond to whatever challenges people are facing. From all of you, I think the number one thing that we heard was that people feel isolated and they need more personal instruction. I think that's where we really need to go. As Raghunath mentioned, we're ready to kind of like adapt to the needs that are there. If we have to do more retreats, less expensive retreats, retreats on the East Coast, the West Coast, maybe one over here, one over there. We really want to find the ways to really get deeper and deeper, provide deeper and deeper or different levels of support for people that need them. We're very dependent on all of you. It's like we really just can't do it. It's kind of like we've got a big farm and all the fruits and vegetables are growing, but what can we do by ourselves? We really need a large team to be part of this. And I don't think Raghunath's exaggerating when he says this really has the potential to usher in positive change and deep influence, and even in like a new era in bhakti, how we reach people in this age. I don't think we as ISKCON have quite caught up to the technologies that are out there, to the circumstances that are out there, to the attitudes that are out there. And I think as a team, all of us together are starting to catch up. And as I mentioned, as we begin to get a team and a manager and more of you involved, I think we're starting to move a little faster. We're starting to come closer to catching up and really providing the kind of care that people need. And I think when we do it, when we really have all our systems in place and we're really providing the kind of support and care that people need, I think at that point Krishna could snap his fingers and our listening audience could double, triple, quadruple. When we really have put in the effort and as a group served to please Krishna, then we have no idea what kind of blessings we'll all receive as a group. So I'm just very, very grateful to all of you as Raghunath is. And thank you, and please stay with us, and please let us know your thoughts. Please never hesitate to reach out to us, share your thoughts, your concerns, whatever it is. We want to be here for you, and we can schedule time that we can speak, because your insights are really important to this. And there's a lot that you know that we don't know, because we're kind of speaking into the computer, but you're speaking to these people and they're speaking back to you, and you're going back and forth. So there's a lot that you're aware of that we may not be aware of. So please always feel free to reach out. And if anybody, we have some time, but if anybody has anything they would like to share even right now, we'd be happy to hear.
Yeah, that's
maybe we should open it up a bit.
I was gonna say, we want to be mindful of the time, but if for 7 minutes, we've got 7 minutes. So if anyone has a question or a comment, I know we'd all love to hear it. And thank you, Raghu and Kaustubha. I feel inspired by what you've said today. So
thank you. Anybody?
Haribol Prabhu. Yes, just a quick question. And I'm sorry, I came in late. Maybe you covered this or maybe it was discussed previously, but I know we have a lot of people who are in far-flung locations. They don't have a lot of means or ability to go to a temple, go to a retreat. Are there any thoughts of setting up something like a way that we can assist somebody, like a fund or something for somebody who maybe can't afford a ticket or to get to where they need to go for a retreat?
I think that's a great question, and I think there should be something, and there should be a way they can know that that is available too. We haven't really made, we've said it in small circles, but that should be our public statement also, that money shouldn't be in the way of your strong desire. So maybe we can put our heads together, Linda, and come up with that. There should be some type of fund.
Sponsorship.
Yeah, whether it's a weekend retreat, a retreat to India, retreat. These things are like life-changing. Why wouldn't people who want to, and people have said, you know what, I can't go, but damn, you should go. Yeah, and Linda's funded one of those herself for people.
yeah,
So yeah,
we'll formalize our efforts around this and come back to everyone and let you know exactly what that will look like. We're going to have a meeting in a few weeks where we talk more about our retreat strategy for next year and things like that. So more to come on that, but it's a great point. And what I would just ask is if anyone does come to you to say, I really need this right now and I would love to go, but I don't have the funds, reach out to me and we will informally put together the efforts to ensure that that person has a way to attend something. So
Nice.
until we come out with a more formal plan, just have that plan be, you can reach me at linda@wisdomofthesages.com. And I'm happy to hear from anyone at any time.
Great. Yeah, we're always looking for ways to improve what we're doing. And you guys probably have a little bit of insight on that. So thanks for that question. Anybody else want to share anything? Maybe we could encourage the Sage Group leaders to have people contribute or have a Sage Group contribute collectively to that episode. What episode are we on?
1500.
1500.
Yeah.
That would be
yeah.
nice.
We're about a week away, maybe a little more from being at episode 1500, and we really want to hear from everyone on how listening to the Bhagavatam every day has changed their life. And so, you know, if you can talk to your Sage Group members about that and encourage them to write in and let us know, then that would be wonderful.
Also, another one for Sage Group leaders to put out there to the people, or if maybe you have some insight. If there's guests that you think these guys should definitely be on the show, you should definitely get this person on the show, or here's a contact for somebody who can help you with this. They can be either within the Krishna Bhakti community or someone who's adjacent, Bhakti adjacent, that just could be very useful to be on the podcast. Please direct that towards Linda because she's doing all the scheduling right now. And we always want to have either people who can take up an hour with interview day that can contribute to our lives, or some devotee that we know is doing something cool for a walk on Wednesday. Please direct that towards Miss Linda.
Yeah, I also wanted to mention, Linda, I think it's next week, Thursday, we want to do either a Sage Group leader and or with a member of one of the
Right.
groups. I've asked a couple leaders, there's a conflict with their schedule, so I think this is a good opportunity to put that message out there. So that it'll be next Thursday, correct?
Next
That's 7 a.m.
Thursday,
Eastern
we'll
Standard
do a
Time?
special walk-on because signups for the next session of Sage Group starts next Saturday. So we want to do it right before signups to really encourage everyone to go on Saturday morning and have a look and see which Sage Group they want to join. So if someone is open to being our walk-on to talk about the impact of Sage Groups and their experience as a Sage Group leader or a Sage Group member, I know some of you do both, then that would be great. Please reach out and let us know.
You know, I had a thought about that show, actually. You're talking about this coming Thursday?
Yes.
Because Haryashva is here in Mayapur. Maybe Haryashva Prabhu could be... I was thinking of talking to him about Bhagavad Gita, because the Gita Jayanti campaign, I think, will still be going. And so maybe we could do that, but also start by talking about Sage Groups with him and anybody else that might like to also participate too.
Yeah, that'd be great. Do a whole episode on it.
Let me talk to him about that.
That would be great. And Linda, how do you want them to reach out to us if anyone else can do it?
Linda@wisdomofthesages.com is the best way to find me.
Anything else?
We got 2 minutes.
May I maybe say something? Radha Kripa is here.
Hi, Radha Kripa. How are you?
Hey, Haribol. Good to see you. Very happy to see you all. Happy to meet Kaustubha Prabhu for the first time in Vrindavan earlier this
that was
year.
great.
I just want to thank you for what you said at the beginning, both of you, Raghunath and Kaustubha, because I actually don't think of this in that way, that I'm doing some very useful and valuable and good service. I just think of it like it's a wonderful way for me, as you said, to do something without any agenda, just for the people who come. And actually, I also benefit from it very much in that wonderful association. But still, I thank you very much for what you were saying, as it it really opens up my perspective on how I see this what we are doing. And it also, this is for the first time that I'm actually part of such a meeting with all of you. Previously, I couldn't do it, or actually, this is only my second session of leading the Sage Group, second season. So I'm happy to get to see some faces and to feel more as part of the community that you're building. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Raghunath.
And well, just look at the faces of these Sage Group leaders. And I was like, oh, that's right. These are people that are like sold out to Krishna. And then Krishna's just like engaging them. It's beautiful. So I know most all of you. Anything else?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
I just want to give a special shout out to Shirupa again. She has been for the past year doing all the hard work behind the registrations and getting all the groups together. So just really grateful. She's taken it a notch, you know, to another level, which,
No
you know,
doubt.
no way that anyone can top that, I don't think, right now. So really, really appreciate Shirupa for all that she's doing, especially all that she's going through, and still maintaining the Sage Group registration flowing very smoothly.
Absolutely. And I'll just close things out by again thanking Raghunath and Kaustubha for your time. Thank you to all the Sage Group leaders. I want to also offer a big thanks to Sri Rupa and also Ishwari Sundari. They're gonna, you know, continue to co-lead our Sage Group pillar of our business plan this coming year. And I think these will become very regular, at least probably quarterly. We'll have a Sage Group leader meeting where we'll focus on getting feedback from you and bringing resources to you to help support you as leaders of this incredible program like we've discussed today. And also big thanks to Broj Vihari, who is a bit of our strategic consultant overall. But the work you're doing is really life-changing. And we hear that all the time from our Sage Group members. We're so grateful. So big
Linda,
thanks to both.
could I just mention one thing related to what you said? Because actually I wanted to share that and you just kind of touched on it. But
Sure.
with the Sage Care, what we really envision is that every Sage Group leader would just be really well equipped, you know, better equipped. You know, in many ways you're already well equipped, but like if I have a Sage Group member with this issue, I know I got a resource to plug them in. You know, whether it's another group that they can join, whether it's a person that they could talk to, whether it's a course that they can take, or a paper that they can read, or a video that they can watch, but that you can that you're going to have like a whole arsenal, you know, of resources to respond to any circumstance or need with your Sage Group members. So as we develop that, of course, we'll have to be hearing more from you, but we would really like to try to offer you this, and hopefully it would make your service more dynamic and more exciting and easier, but also just like far more dynamic, hopefully.
Thank you, Prabhu. Loka, I think you've got a question.
Actually, it's more of a comment, Prabhu. I just wanted to, not to sound overly sentimental, but while everyone is waxing eloquent about the service of the Sage leaders, I just want to say thank you for bringing us all together, and thanks to all the other Sage leaders for allowing me to be part of this. In many respects, this group is a lifeline, or this work is a lifeline, because my service as General Counsel for North America is pretty heavy at times and intense. And this is a really nice way to remember what's important and how to keep the main thing the main thing. And, you know, developing that sense of community with other like-minded people who are really sort of out there trying to do things maybe in not such a traditional way, but it still satisfies traditional desires. It's a lifeline. I'll just leave it at that. It's a lifeline, and thank you.
Thank you. It means a lot to hear that from it's such a wonderful and experienced devotee like you. So we really appreciate it.
There's nothing more exciting for our own spiritual life than helping other people get into their spiritual life. It's the most, for even, especially when devotees have been around for decades and they're sort of like lost in their thing. if you know other people out there that are sort of been around, bring them to this job so we can expand this even more. We could have Sage Group. We could have hundreds and hundreds of Sage groups all over the world, and they can work like this. And it's exciting for your spiritual life when a person's new. That first romance they're having with Krishna is so exciting, and we feel the same excitement in our life.
Beautiful. Thank you all. Hare Krishna. We will be back in touch with more information at the start of the new year, but just thank you all for the work you do. There's not enough words to really articulate the gratitude and appreciation I know that we all have. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna,
Haribol.
Hare Bol.
Let the magic
Hey,
continue
Paul.
to flow.
Hare Krishna.
Hari.
Haribol.
Thank you. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna. Thank you.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Shyam.
Hari.